Hello everyone, welcome back to the course on Instrumentation and Process Control. Myself, Nidhi Mehta, Assistant Professor at Chemical Engineering Department, LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, let's just start with our topic, which is transient response of simple control system. Now, in our today's topic, we will deal with a block diagram of a chemical reactor, and we will be understanding how to control a given chemical reactor. So what we are basically going to do is, we will be dealing with inlet and outlet of a complex chemical reactor, right? So here, as you can see that this is pure A reservoir, which is a reactant in our given case. First one tank which is shown here, this is our tank 1, which is CSTR1 or continuous stir tank 1, right? Inlet will be first sent to tank number 1, where it will be provided heating and stirring. So it will get enough time to react and get converted into desired product, right? The outlet from tank number 1 is being fed to tank number 2. Tank number 2 is again our CSTR, right? So this is first CSTR and this is second CSTR. So in tank number 2, what we are going to fed is the outlet coming from tank number 1 will serve as inlet for tank number 2. So already the partially converted products are being sent to tank number 2. Again, as you can see here, it is again provided with heating and stirring, right? After tank number 2, in tank number 2, basically it will get more time and the desired parameters which will promote or enhance reaction. From tank number 2, there will be an outlet which will be used as our product. So, outlet of tank number 2 is our desired product. What we are going to do here is, we will take small amount of outlet, send it to the controller. In controller, set point and our outlet value is being compared to generate error. Now, based on the error generated, a signal will be sent to the pure A feed. Suppose the purity at end point is low. I need 95% pure product, but I am getting here 92% pure product. So 3% error or error of 3 is being generated here. So it will send a signal to this control knob, and due to which it will reduce the inlet flow of pure A. So less amount will be sent into the reactor and it will get enough time to get converted, right? So this is the entire process of our control system in chemical reactor. Now let's just derive it in terms of mathematical notations. So once you do material balance around tank number 1, we will be getting V, which is volume of tank number 1, into dC1 by dt. Why C1? Because C1 is the concentration inside tank 1 after getting product converted, right? So it will be V dC1 by dt. It is basically accumulation of A inside tank number 1 is equals to F C0 plus M. What is C0? C0 is initial concentration of our component A or of our reactant A. So F is molar flow rate into initial concentration of component A plus M, which is mass which we are sending. So flow of A into the tank 1, this is the amount which is going into the tank 1 initially, right? Minus F plus M upon rho A. So this is into C1. This is the amount which is coming out of the tank number 1. So flow of A out of tank 1, correct? Minus K1 V into C1. This is basically the entire amount of product which is formed due to chemical reaction. So K into C is rate of chemical reaction multiplied with volume of reactor, it will give entire amount of chemical reaction. So K1 V into C1. Now, as you can see, M is molar flow rate of pure A, rho A is density and V is holder volume of tank. So now let's just assume the volumetric flow rate through A of A through valve is M by rho A and it is much less than the capital F value. So we can neglect M upon rho A. Suppose F is 100 and M upon rho A is 0.0001. So we can neglect the value of 0.0001, right? So just neglecting the value of M upon rho A because we are considering that it is the small value. So what we will be getting is V dC1 by dt plus, this is minus here, when you shift this term over here, this side, it will be plus. So F into C1 plus K into C1. Both the minus sign will be converted into plus sign. C1 is common in both the terms. So taking C1 out of this bracket, it will be equals to FC0 plus M. Now, the last equation which we have written can be written in this form: V upon F plus K1V dC1 by dt plus C1 is again equals to F upon F plus K1V C0 plus 1 upon F plus K1V into M. Now, you can take this constant as tau. So it will be tau 1 dC1 by dt plus C1 1 upon 1 plus K1 tau C0 plus 1 by F upon 1 plus K1 tau into M. Where tau is residence time for each tank. So there whatsoever tank you have used means either 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the number of tank you have used in series, residence time of each tank will be individually, that is tau 1, tau 2, tau 3 and so on, right. Tau 1 is basically effective time constant, as you can see for tank number 1, that's why suffix 1 has been written there, which is again equals to V upon F plus K1V, which is equivalent to tau upon 1 plus K1 tau. Now, at steady state dC1 by dt equals to 0. So, C1 of S, that is at steady state condition 1 upon 1 plus K1 tau, C0S plus 1 by F 1 upon 1 plus K1 tau, M of S is equal to this. So, just introduce deviation variable, you will be getting this particular terms, and after taking the transform will be getting C1 of S equals to 1 upon 1 plus K1 tau upon tau 1S into C0S plus 1 upon F M of S, right. So this is basically equation for tank number 1. Now taking for tank number 2, it will be V dC2 by dt equals to FC1 minus FC2 minus K2 into VC2. This is accumulation, this is inlet for tank 1, this is outlet from tank 1, and this is basically reaction of tank number 2. Sorry, right. So this is for tank number 2, accumulation for tank 2, inlet for tank 2, flow rate for tank 2 and rate of reaction for tank number 2. Just write it in the simpler form as we have done in our previous case. Take C2 term over opposite side, right, and take C2 common, then it will be in the term of V dC2 by dt plus F plus K2V into C2 equals to F into C1. Now, just shift the terms and do the integration. You will be getting transfer function for tank number 2 in the terms of C2S equals to 1 upon 1 plus K2 tau upon tau 2S plus 1 into C1 of S. This is desired transfer function for tank number 2. Now just remember one thing, whenever we are dealing with control system or transfer function, we need to consider all the parameters which are affecting our system, whether it is inlet, outlet, heating or any other parameter, right? So whenever we are talking about controllers, most effective controller is PID controller, right? So we are having on and off controller, P controller, PI controller, PD controller and PID controller. Basically there are 5 types of controller: P controller, PI controller, PD controller, PID controller, right? So what happened out of them is each one have their own negative side. Proportional controller is cheap, but it cannot eliminate the entire error. Whereas proportional integral controller is quite complex to operate, but it can give you complete result by eliminating error, but it do have stability issues. Proportional derivative controller removes error, but it is highly unstable because small amount of error change can keep the entire system into instability. PID controller is most effective controller out of all the controllers which we are dealing with. And on and off controller is basically very simple, either it can operate or it can close the process, right? Hope all these things are quite clear. Thank you.